What up, everybody? JB here. Just thought I'd make a little video for you all. To say thank you for your well wishes. They are absolutely well appreciated. But yeah, fortunately, as the boys have probably told you on the lives, and I know Matt said last week on the video, I took quite unwell. Last Tuesday, I ended up in hospital for 4 days, and yeah, I've been allowed back home, but on strict rules of strict medication. Long story short, peeps, they found blood clots in both my lungs again. And yeah, it's quite serious to the point where they were very reluctant to let me go home. And they said if I didn't take it serious and didn't keep up my medication, this time I could probably die. So, yeah, the big guy's not going to be around for a little while. I've got a long road to recovery to do, but I promise you the return, it'll be epic. Picture John Cena in the Royal Rumble or Triple H in 2002. I'll come back bigger, better and stronger. But in the meantime, the other two fellas are going to be around. They're going to support the channel as much as they can. Do what they can for the channel. Bear with them. Please forgive us in advance if there maybe might be a video one week, or it might be something that we've pre-recorded a while off, because I know we've got quite a few things in the bag. But please bear with us and keep showing us all the love and support that you have done over the years. But we will be back. We ain't going nowhere. Like I said, the return's going to be epic. It's going to be a big one. But until I see you next time, peace out. Appreciate all the love. And I'll catch you all soon.
As you've just seen, a little message from John there. He isn't going to be back for a while. So, as I said last week, John, we hope you feel better soon. Get well soon, mate. We can't wait to have you back on Main Event and on lives as well. Welcome everyone to another week of Main Event. Again, it is just myself joining you today. We're going to go over Clash in Paris, talk about Raw, and some news that's just been rolling around that I just want to talk about, and get some things off my chest as well to do with wrestling, because that's what we're doing it for, really. So, as always, if you like what you see, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, share it with all your friends, comment down below your thoughts on this week's wrestling. Did you think Clash in Paris was good? Did you think Raw was good? What do you think is going to happen going forward with WrestlePalooza and Crown Jewel? Who do you think John Cena's last match is going to be? Let us all know in the comment section below. And as always, if you do want to see me play some games or just be myself, come over to Twitch, one up my 89. Could really appreciate it. Let's get started with Clash in Paris. So Clash in Paris was this weekend. The weekend just gone. It was alright. It was an alright show. It wasn't fantastic. It's not going to blow any pay-per-view out the water this year. However, considering the pay-per-views this year haven't been exactly great, I'd probably put it fourth of this year. Listen, the pay-per-view quality this year hasn't been great. Obviously, SummerSlam was good. Night 2 was good. Night of Champions was good. Evolution was good. Backlash was okay. Royal Rumble was alright as well. What I am going to do, towards the end of the year, I am going to rewatch all the pay-per-views back and see. At the end of the year, we'll probably do a tier list of the pay-per-views this year and see where they all rank up. But Clash, yeah, it was okay. Some matches better than I thought they were originally going to be. Then you just had some matches which just why. So we're going to go through each match, my thoughts, and go from there. And then we'll talk about Raw last night. and then move on to some news that's making the rounds. So we started off with Roman Reigns against Bronson Reed, the tribal chief versus the tribal thief. I hate that. It was Bronson Reed's best match of his career. On the live, Ted said it, and I was like, I do think it's probably his best match of his career. He should have won this. If I was perfectly honest and not Roman Reigns biased, Bronson Reed should have won that match. For me, if you were putting them in order of ranking the division, taking a certain somebody away, which we'll get into at the end, it'd be Seth Bron and Bronson. Seth Bron Bronson. Bronson just feels like he's not as important as Bron Breakker, and we all know how division's gonna go down. Eventually, Bron Breakker's gonna pull away, and he's gonna win the title from Seth. I think that's how that's gonna go down. But Bronson should have won this. However, Roman Reigns won. Great match. They gave it 22 minutes. However, the fault at the end of the match the whole from the opening of the show, to the first match and the entrances to the post match was an hour. We looked at the time, me and Ted, and we went, "This has been going on for nearly an hour." I think it was at 56 minutes, and they've already gone through one match and the post show. The post. I keep saying post show, post match. At the end of the match, just before Bronson Reed and Bron Breakker absolutely killed Roman Reigns, once he got his sneakers back, he choked out Paul Heyman. Storyline now is Paul Heyman's at the hospital and medical center, whatever you want to call it, and choked him out, and he just passed out. And then once Roman Reigns was happy with himself, all hell broke loose between Roman Reigns, Bron Breakker, and Bronson Reed. You had tsunami after tsunami after tsunami. Roman Reigns took back his sneakers. I hate saying sneakers. British trainers. Signed a couple of, threw one out, and then Bron Breakker appeared from nowhere and speared him. Bron Breakker seemed to have overshot the spear and kind of went over. But he looked really pissed off with himself. And John put in the chat saying he'd hurt himself. He didn't. He was just very pissed off at the fact that he overshot that spear and he could have hurt himself. They put Roman into the ring. Tsunami, another spear. The typical Vision stuff. Then the trainers came out, tried to stop him from doing another tsunami. He did another one. Adam Pearce needs to get control of his fucking TV show because he's got no control. They started walking away, then they did it again, then they brought the gurney out to put Roman Reigns on it, tied him on it, then did it again. Then it took Jey Uso about 20 minutes before he came out to help Roman Reigns. Don't know where Sammy or Jimmy are at this point. I know they're on SmackDown, but they're in the same fucking area. But yeah, overall, the match was good. It was like I said, one of Bronson Reed's probably better matches with Roman. Bronson's Reed's best match he's probably had next to Braun Strowman's Last Man Standing. Then we had the White Six defending the WWE Tag Team titles against the Street Profits. Just before we talk about the match with the Wyatt Six and the Profits, Profits came out with the entrance with Borderlands. I've never been a Borderlands fan myself, so I thought they looked cool, but I was like, it is what it, I think I've popped more for Doom with Drew. I think it was at Mania. I think that was at Mania or some. I can't remember where that was. But I popped hard for Drew with Doom. It's not really my cup of tea, Borderlands, but it looked cool anyway. Just to say the least, it did look cool. When the Wyatts came out, I got goosebumps. Ted got a tear in his eye. The crowd sang the theme. Now I know someone like ETC always says that he doesn't get why people get upset over these things. Well, I'm not going too far into it, but Bray Wyatt was someone that me, John, Ted loved. And I've said it numerous times. If and I always take it back to the same person. When Sir Alex Ferguson finally passes away, I say finally, when Sir Alex Ferguson passes away, who was the manager of Manchester United, he brought me so many good memories with Manchester United. I will be upset, and it will be a day where I will be somber. Bray Wyatt was the same. Bray Wyatt was everything he said resonated with what we were thinking or what we were going through. So when they sang his theme, it just I can't imagine what Bo felt. I can't, or Eric, but it got to us that. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. I've watched it so many times. Fucking quality. We talk about the tag division in WWE not being great. Well, Raw's not being great. This was fantastic. I've thoroughly enjoyed watching the White Six versus Street Profits. And obviously on SmackDown, Uncle Howdy, who I thought for a split second was Bray Wyatt. Bo Dallas came from nowhere. He just, the way he was talking just sounds like a double of Bray Wyatt. And I got goosebumps when I heard him, and I looked up, and it was obviously, I knew it wasn't him because obviously he's passed away, but it just felt like he was it. Bo Dallas is Bray Wyatt. Weird. They put out there that maybe Dawkins is the one that turns on Ford, and you could see at the start of the match, Ford wanted to start the match, Dawkins wanted to start the match, and they were like talking, like it looks like they were in a bit of a argument with it. Montez Ford is amazing. We said it so many times this channel. If he broke away, he's the one that goes far. Dawkins, I think Dawkins could go far now, not as far as Ford, but I do think Dawkins is the Jimmy Uso, whereas Ford's the J. Great match. White 6 won. Nikki Cross got involved as Dawkins got took out and put over the barrier. As Ford was going back into the ring, Nikki Cross grabbed his foot as Ford jumped down from the apron. Uncle Howdy hit Sister Abigail, threw him in the ring, and they did the finisher and pinned him in 1, 2, 3. We still have the White Six as our tag team champions. Becky Lynch versus Nikki Bella. Now, I wasn't paying too much attention to this match because, one, I didn't really care, and I was taking the piss saying Nikki Bella is the best thing in the women's division. I didn't see the botch until yesterday. Now, and we said on this channel we're not really calling out botches because it happens and it's one of those things. That was mental how Nikki Bella did. I think it was like went to go and do like a jump, I don't know, some move from the middle rope or top rope or whatever, the middle rope. As she did, she jumped back, totally missed Becky, and Becky reacted to it. I thought it was alright. I still wouldn't put it down as a match I'd rewatch. I'm not a big fan of Becky Lynch. I just don't like her whole demeanour, and she's not my kind of wrestler for me. I can understand why people like her, like Ted and John, for example. Not for me. But we didn't do predictions for this pay-per-view either because of John's situation. But I would have gone Becky Lynch in this. It was obvious it was going to be Becky. Rusev defeated Sheamus in a good old-fashioned Donnybrook match. Considering the match meant for calling, it's literally just a bar brawl / hardcore match. This was fucking fantastic. I actually enjoyed it. Rusev surprised me. Sheamus doesn't surprise me because he is that good. It was great. But Sheamus being put through the bar. On the barrels, doing the white noise. I think he did the white noise through the tables off the barrels. It was not. It was a brawl between two fucking bruisers, and you could fucking tell. Rusev won. Don't know where Sheamus goes now. I mean, he needs one title, and then he could probably retire and call it a day. He needs the Intercontinental title to win every single championship in WWE at the time, including Money in the Bank and Royal Rumble and King of the Ring. Rusev, you just build on Rusev. If you really want to try and push him, you try and push him. I don't think it's going to work. Even Paris didn't react to Rusev. I'm past Rusev. They should have pulled the trigger on Rusev Day when they had the chance, because he's just not anywhere near the attraction he was with Lana and Aiden English. Match of the night, John Cena defeated Logan Paul. Fantastic. What a fantastic match this was. People don't rate Logan Paul for some weird, strange reason. They look at his outside stuff, look into his WWE stuff, his matches with Rey Mysterio, with Roman Reigns, with Seth Rollins. Like, he's faced the big boys and he's gone toe to Orton and Owens, last year. Like, he's gone toe to toe with the best. AJ Styles this year at WrestleMania. And he knows the business. He trains. He puts himself through everything that they do in the Performance Center. And this match showed, his match with Cena. The only thing that didn't go right for me was when he tried to do the Cesaro uppercut, when he threw him into the air and Cesaro, or Claudio, whatever you want to call him, does the uppercut in midair. There was callbacks to Baron Corbin, to Dolph Ziggler, to Cesaro, AJ Styles. There was Cena and Logan did moves, callbacks to some of John Cena's best opponents. The match ended obviously Cena winning. Doesn't hurt Logan whatsoever. If anything, it probably brought to light how good Logan can be. I do firmly believe he will win the world title sometime soon. My only issue, I don't have an issue with him holding it. The only issue is he would be part-time, and I'm not for part-time champions. And then the main event, Seth Rollins versus CM Punk versus Jey Uso versus LA Knight. Obviously, we saw Jey Uso at the start of the night defending Roman Reigns eventually. And he had tape around his ribs because he got took out by Braun Breaker with a spear. And a tsunami. Did he get a tsunami? Pretty sure he got a tsunami. Everyone else fucking did. I really wanted LA Knight to win, just because I think it's time for him to hold the title. He's gone far too long now without. He's only had one US title run, which is mental considering how over he is. It was alright. It wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be. I did think at one point Punk was winning. They were going to put Seth through a table they had set up outside, LA Knight, Punk and Jay. And then Jay turned on them both and super kicked him, so they didn't put Seth through a table, which obviously led to a conversation that LA Knight and Jey Uso had on Raw. But Seth Rollins won thanks to a new member of the Vision who came hooded and low-blowed Punk as he was about to hit another GTS on Seth Rollins, which turns out to be Seth Rollins' wife, Becky Lynch, the WWE Women's Intercontinental Champion. Low-blowed and then walked away with the championship, Seth Rollins. That was Clash in Paris. Out of 10, so I gave Forbidden Door. So I gave All In. SummerSlam was first. I gave SummerSlam. What did I give Evolution? Evolution, I think I gave an 8.5. I thought Evolution was fantastic. SummerSlam, I think I gave a 7.5. First night let it down. All In, I gave a 9. Forbidden Door, I gave an 8. Because I didn't. It was. No, I think I gave it a 7 actually. Because it wasn't my cup of tea. I'm going to give Clash a 7. The Rusev match, the Cena match, and the White Six saves that pay-per-view. And the Roman and Bronson match. The Roman Bronson match, Rusev Sheamus, Cena Logan, saves the pay-per-view for me. Other than that, the ending was shit. Like, we all said it was going to be Becky months ago. That was going to be the fourth member of the Vision. And they held it off for so long that you forgot that it could have been Becky. Then she did what she did. However, on Raw, which we'll go into in a minute, I can see why they went Becky, the reason for it. But I'm going to give it a 7. I like the entertainment aspect more than an AEW pay-per-view, personally. I love the entertainment side of it. So when people go on at me saying, "Oh, you WWE biased," I probably am, because that's all I've watched since '95 when I started watching. But I do think how are we supposed to know that? But I do think I I did like it. I did like it. It wasn't fantastic. Like I said, them 3 matches saved it. But I am going to go for a 7 at Clash. Obviously, the next Premium Live event is WrestlePalooza. However, we have Worlds Collide coming up, which there's only been one match announced up to now, which is Vikingo and Dominic Mysterio for the AAA Mega Championship. I was kind of hoping Vikingo got involved last night on Raw to carry on the feud between Dom and Vikingo, because I do feel like there's not enough what's the word? Not enough heat between them on all, like, going from into AAA and WWE. I feel like we don't see much from Vikingo, and I'd love to see Vikingo more on mainstream WWE TV, especially going against Dom, and maybe saying it's for the Intercontinental and the AAA Mega, because then that would be very much more interesting. It'd be interesting to see if Dom does come away both titles, or they give it to Vikingo. And then we have WrestlePalooza, which last night on Raw there was a match announced, which was Io Sky facing off against Stephanie Vaquer for the vacant Women's World Title. John Cena is obviously going to be there. It's one of his dates. Now, all the rumours going in is it's going to be Brock Lesnar, because it is going up against All Out, and it's the first pay-per-view on ESPN, so they want to make it a big one. Personally, I think we'll get Lesnar and Cena. I think we'll get Drew and Cody for the WWE title. We will get. I think we'll get Dom and AJ one more time for the Intercontinental title. Obviously, Io and Steph. I think we'll get Tiff defending the title against Jade Cargill one more time. We could potentially see a tag titles on the line, whether it's WWE or World Tag Team titles. I don't know. And then we'll have a tag match, which we're going to in a minute. And we'll probably have Asuka versus Rhea, to be fair. Because they'll want shoehorn Rhea into it. And she's going to have a feud with Asuka soon. So let's look at some news. Let's look at Raw, actually. Let's go to Raw. So Raw last night emanated from Paris. It was okay. I enjoyed Raw last night. I don't normally enjoy Raw. No, I haven't over the last few months. But I thought Raw was great last night. Dragon Lee versus Finn was a great match, and the crowd were firmly behind Finn, and they started doing a chant, and Wade Barrett's like trying to chant it along with it. And it was, I think, the people that did that song was Opus. I have got it on my playlist because ETC asked me to play it on stream the other day. It's not Opus. Life is... Yeah, it's Opus. Opus, Life is Life. So it was da 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 da. Finn Balor. Da da da. That was the chant they were doing. They were firmly behind Finn. And rightly so. Finn's great. They were obviously building up towards WrestlePalooza. The big talking point out the whole thing was advertised was Dom and AJ for the Intercontinental title, and we got told by Adam Pearce that Judgment Day was not to get involved in that whatsoever. And then the what do you call it? The not outfall. What the fucking... Not the outrage. The aftermath of the Fatal 4-Way and Becky Lynch being the fourth member of the Vision. We're getting it, ladies and gentlemen. We are getting it, and we could potentially see her this week. If you don't know what happened, if you don't watch Raw, CM Punk's in the ring. He's demanding Seth Rollins comes out and solve this never-ending cycle of them two facing each other. Becky Lynch comes out, talks trash to Punk. Punk talks trash to Becky about Seth and her. And Becky's like, I started a revolution. It was all me. It was no one else. And Punk's like, I want your husband out here. He's a piece of trash like you, blah, blah, blah. Seth comes out and says, I've been here all the time. I've been looking for your buddy, blah, blah, blah. Then walks to the back. And as CM Punk looks annoyed with himself because he didn't chase after Seth. He turns around and Becky starts slapping him. Punk looks like he's ready to fucking smack her. Walks to the back. He says something to her. I can't remember exactly, but he says something to her. Walks to the back. And just before the main event of Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed against Jay and LA Knight, Adam Pearce turns around. CM Punk goes up to Adam Pearce. Or the other way around. Adam Pearce says that he's left the building. And Punk turns around and says, where's SmackDown again this week? And he goes, Chicago, why? And he goes, cool. And it looks like we're getting CM Punk in Chicago on SmackDown. Now, with the Revolution line, that makes me straight away go AJ Lee. Straight away. There is no one else that could be. Now, I don't want to also get my hopes up, and it's not. He also was speaking to Rhea in the back beforehand, which will be very interesting because Rhea and Becky have history. It could be Bayley. He's very good friends with Bayley, but I don't think it is. I think she's going into a feud with Laura Vacaria next week. He's also good friends with Cora Jade, who obviously isn't there anymore, and Roxanne Perez, who is a part of the Judgment Day, so it makes no sense. However, they could work it in where Liv Morgan comes back, kicks her out, but then she's in the feud with Liv Morgan, not Becky. It don't make sense. I think we're getting AJ Lee back. I'm 90% sure it's AJ Lee, and if AJ Lee comes out on SmackDown, I will be squealing like a girl. For people that don't understand my obsession with AJ Lee is, for me, next to Mickie James, one of the best wrestlers, women's wrestlers I've ever seen. She had the look, she had the mic, she had the in-ring work. She was perfect. And at a time when the women were known for wrestling in their underwear, in bikinis, she was the one that was like, no, I'm not like that. I'm wrestling, and I'm wrestling like I should be wrestling, like an actual wrestler. She was different. Plus, she was on the emo side, punk side. Like, I love that. I love metal music and punk music, so I was all for that. She laced up to Chuck Taylor's, and she got in the ring, and she did her business. And she was so against Total Divas, it was unreal. So, AJ Lee is, like, people get excited when Becky comes back, or with Rhea. The reaction Rhea gets is my reaction when AJ Lee came out. So AJ Lee returns, I will be buying the merch that she puts on, or that the WWE put on Euroshop. I will be buying that. I don't give a shit. AJ Lee will forever be my number one women's wrestler of all time. So we could be getting that match as well. Seth and Becky versus CM Punk and AJ Lee, which would be cool because we've not seen AJ Lee wrestle in WWE for some time now. She's obviously done some work for Glow, I think it was. So, very interesting. WrestlePalooza looks like it's going to be great. Can't wait to see it. Let's look into some news. I understand it's only been 25 minutes, but there's only so much I can do on my own. The Righteous looks like they are winding down in their dates. So, Fightful Select reports that sources close to the situation say the duo has been telling indie promoters that they're finishing up the remaining dates. Behind the scenes, word is WWE has shown interest and many believe it's just a matter of time before the company bring them in. This isn't WWE's first look into the pair. Back in December 22, the Righteous joined Casey Navarro and Kylie Ray for a tryout, specially geared toward independent talent, but that same month Vince McMahon forced his way back into WWE, triggering a hiring freeze that left many unsigned, regardless how strong the trial performers were. After the freeze stalled things, the Righteous eventually joined AEW/Ring of Honor, but they're since secured their release. Now WWE interested is reportedly reignited. Elijah is a big fan of him, who is in Impact. Bray Wyatt loved him, and he pushed hard for the Righteous to get hired after seeing their tryout. He wanted to work with them before he passed. So it'd be very interesting to see that the Righteous, if they do end up in WWE. I don't know much about him. I'm not going to say I'm so happy WWE signing him. I don't know much about him. So it'd be very interesting to see if they do come in. Let's have a look what else there is. I'm not going to talk about Psycho Stu because I just feel like it's down a road where I don't want to get into. Staying on AEW, there is a report that's come out today by Conan from his Keeping It 100 podcast. Conan said that Tony Khan is basically a money mark who got into places most people couldn't, and often throws tantrums. He said Khan doesn't have the real leadership skills, saying that leaders are either born with them or taught, but Khan isn't an actual leader. Instead, he comes off weak and indecisive, often saying one thing and then changing his mind. This is exactly what he said, word for word. He says he's a money mark and was able to get into places most people wouldn't, and throwing tantrums. And this is what he can do. What can he do? Bro, first of all, you have to have leadership qualities. You're either born with them or somebody teaches them to you, but he's not an actual leader. He's not a strong leader. He's a very wishy-washy. He'll tell you one thing, then another, and then another, and then you're like, bro, you told me this and you told me that, but now you're telling me this. According to Conan, many people around Tony Khan don't want to argue with him because they're getting paid, so they're just going along with whatever he wants to do. Some even admit that they don't care about the ideas as long as they get the paycheck, which Conan thinks is a bad situation to be in. My thoughts on Tony Khan, I think he's slowly killing AEW with some of the shit he comes out with and some of the hires he does. The hires recently haven't been as bad. But bringing in Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin, for example, that's not something you go out and do. That's like a last resort kind of thing. We're not going to get too much into it, but AEW, we've got so many tag teams that they don't even use. Conan insisted that he's just been honest, pointing out others like Jack Hager have said similar things. He believes more people eventually speak up and agree with him. Conan ended up by saying he has no reason to lie or make stuff up. He's simply telling it how it is. He said, and then a lot of people don't want to make waves. They're getting paid and they're like, whatever he wants to do, wants to fucking do. I don't want to say names because there's people that I tell him, I go, why do you do that? He goes, Tony's idea. And I go, why do you go along with it? And he goes, I don't give a fuck, just pay me. And then when you're working like that, it's not a good place to be, and he knows he has the power, and he's not a guy that a lot of boys over there that talk to me respect. And that has nothing to do with he went to work with CMLL, or you don't want to use me, or any other stupid excuse that you come up with because I'm bitter against him. I'm telling you how it is. You're hearing it from Jack Swagger. You've heard bits and pieces from other people. As time goes on, you're going to hear even more. And at the end, people will go, you know what, Conan was right, because I don't have any reason to lie. I don't have any reason to make shit up. There's no reason. I'm telling you as it is. Whether he is or not is a different matter. I don't know. I don't like Tony Khan. I do think he's slowly killing AEW. And as much as other people told me it's not, I think hiring CM Punk was the worst thing you could have ever done, and that's what's slowly killed your product. And the other thing saying is you don't look at ratings is the biggest lie I've ever heard in my life. Let's have a look what else there is. That was over a Raw. So the last bit of news here is WWE expected to stack WrestlePalooza for the ESPN debut. On Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer explained that WWE always treats their first events on new platforms like a major showcase. They're definitely going to peak. This is not your normal monthly pay-per-view at all. They're running on that show. Meltzer said, pointing to past examples like SmackDown's Fox debut and the upcoming Raw launch on Netflix. They always pull stuff out, and this will be this. I'm sure won't be no different. He also teased the return of AJ Lee, noting that she's been heavily discussed behind the scenes. I've got to think that you're not going this far without AJ Lee deal already made. The return could tie directly into CM Punk and Seth Rollins' feud, especially with Becky Lynch shocking alignment with the Vision. I want to call it shocking. Meltzer said the segment with Punk and Lynch on Raw was outstanding, and then it raised the stakes for the potential AJ Lee return way bigger than I would have thought otherwise. I totally agree. For the first time ever, I'm agreeing with Dave Meltzer for one. Can we just take that? I think the promo yesterday between Becky, it didn't need Seth. The Becky and Punk thing was absolutely spot on. There was no need to get Seth involved. It's building up feud in a different way than what we normally see, where the other guy comes down, they both argue in the ring, they both beat each other up, they're into a match next, blah blah blah. It was different. Becky was involved. Punk calling their titles plastic belts, blah blah blah, and going in on them. It's very interesting. I think it's very worked well for AJ Lee's return, which again, I will squeal like a child for. Brock Lesnar is also locked in for WrestlePalooza, as previously confirmed. His involvement also brings star power, with WWE appears to be stacking it even further. They teased the Usos reunion last night. Jay got beat down after LA Knight got took out, but got beat down by Braun and Bronson Reed. Jimmy came out of a chair and saved Jay, and as we were going off the air, Jay was like, I can't do this alone, I need you, mate. Obviously, Naomi vacating the world title brings Jimmy onto... she won the world title, brought Jimmy onto Raw because they keep married couples together. But the world title being vacant now, obviously brought in, like I said before, Io Sky versus Stephanie Vaquer for the women's world title in Indianapolis for WrestlePalooza as well. So they're stacking it up. It's going to be a launch pad for the ESPN era, is what they're saying. I can't wait. On the same night as AEW All Out, I don't think All Out has been given any matches yet. It hasn't. There's been no matches announced. Oh, there was one match, sorry. Adam Cole and Christian Cage versus FTR, because it is in Canada. It's in Toronto, Ontario, because the poster's got Edge in it. Very interesting. It's been a good week. It's been a good week of wrestling, to be fair, it has. Really enjoyed it. Obviously, we've got a couple of weeks now till the 20th. What are we on now? The 2nd of September. Coming up towards the time of year, my favourite time of the year. We have 3 weeks on Saturday. 2 weeks on Saturday, should I say. Until WrestlePalooza and AEW All Out. So come join us on TikTok, because we will be live for both. Ted's watching AEW. I will be watching WWE. It's going to be a bit difficult to do, but we're going to do it anyway. So please follow us. If you're watching WWE, come in. I will be watching WrestlePalooza. There is no way I'm missing an AJ Lee return. It would be interesting to see Brock Lesnar's next first match back, plus Cody and Drew, which they're probably going to build on SmackDown this week. Because I think Cody's back this week, if I remember rightly. Plus the Usos return as a tag team. It'll be very interesting. Join us over for there. As I've said, I am on Twitch as well, OneUpMatt89, so come join us over on there as well. John, as you saw at the start of the video, is off for the foreseeable. Ted obviously isn't doing these videos anymore. He's not part of the weekly videos. So if you want to do a Q&A next week, get your questions into the comments or join the Discord. The link is in the description. Now, with the links in the description, YouTube have changed how we do it. Because we are not monetized, we can't put full links in. So I've had to put spaces in between some of the links. If you just put the link into your web browser, delete the spaces. It's the link. So go join us. Go and put some questions on there, or just put it in the comment section below, please. And I'll do a Q&A next week. If you want me to do something different next week, other than just talk about what's happened in the week of wrestling, then please leave that in the comment section below. I can't do any more than what I'm doing without your input and you lot telling me what I need, what you want to see from me. Obviously NXT tonight, Dynamite Wednesday, SmackDown Friday. I will be watching SmackDown because of AJ Lee potentially returning and Brock Lesnar's potential return. I might release a video on Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon, if that's the case. No football, soccer on this week. So I kind of have a free Saturday to do nothing because I'm working Sunday. But yeah, I know you want top fives back. We've got top fives in the bag. They're just a ball ache to edit with this new editor. I am going to get my head around it, I think, this week. I'm going to stream today. I'm going to try and stream every day, but I might get up early tomorrow and try and edit one of them, see if we can get that out for you. I am thinking of doing a 2K video on my own, a GM mode one. I won't tell you too much at the moment. I'm going to probably see if I can record that today. So I want to see how that goes, because that should be quite interesting. But yeah, thank you from me as always. I appreciate you listening to me. Go and follow all the channels. We are Wrestling Fellas everywhere. Get yourself over to TikTok for pay-per-views for AEW, WWE and NXT if they're not on the same day. Yeah, but until next time, until next week, peace out. Until next time, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Like I said at the start of the video, like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. And I'll see you next week. Peace.